is October 4th, 2022. The time is now 9:31. I call to order the regular meeting of the Council of the City of Birmingham, Alabama. We'll have our invocation by Mrs. Thelma Brown, Susan G. Coleman Scholar, National Cancer Institute Patient Steering Committee, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance led by Councilor J.T. Moore. If you're willing, please stand and join us.
If I may for just a moment, please.
Good morning.
This being Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and as a two-time breast cancer survivor, I would like to say on behalf of all of our survivors, people in the midst of this journey, the families who've lost members to breast cancer, the organizations that I represent, the National Cancer Institute and Susan G. Coleman, thank you. Thank you. Thank you to the mayor, the council, and most importantly, the citizens of Birmingham for your unwavering support to the breast cancer community. This is important because 115 lives are lost every day from this disease. Black women are 40% more likely to die from this disease than any other ethnic group. So it's quite poignant that Birmingham, this city with this rich history of addressing inequalities, will lock arms with the breast cancer community and try to make this path straight and make a difference in our community. And for that, we're grateful and we appreciate you. Thank you. Let us pray. Holy One, known by many names and beyond all names, Spirit of life, Spirit of love, Spirit of community, and Spirit of justice. We ask your blessings on the people who have been called to lead the community in which we live, work, and play. Help them as leaders, not to ask first, how can we fix this, but what do we need to learn? How might we need to change? And whom do we need to listen? Remind them, because we all forget from time to time, especially in the noisiness of what we pass now for political debate, that they are not only leaders, but also servants. And it is their responsibility and ours to serve the common good of all. Remind them that no matter where we live, everyone, from Inslee to the east side, from North Birmingham to the south side, Black, white, Hispanic, Asian, Christian, Muslim, or Jew, everyone is our neighbor, our sibling. And throughout the ages, the prophets has called the leaders of the people to respect and protect the least of those among us, our children, the elderly, the poor, those who are hungry, those who have no homes, those who are ill in mind, body, and spirit, the strangers, the immigrants in our midst, those who live on the margins, those who are alone, and those who are forgotten. Grant them and us the wisdom and courage to know and do what is right, good, true, and just. May they and we speak out when it's time to speak out, and listen patiently, receptively, when it's time to listen. May they and we always be guided by that spirit of community, by that spirit of justice, and by that spirit of love. This we pray in the name of all that we hold sacred and holy, and in all that we hold good, right, and true. May it be so. Amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you very much, and we appreciate you, Mrs. Brown, for bringing us that message and motivational prayer. Thank you so much. Good morning, Mr. Clerk.
Good morning.
This time, if you would call the roll.
Councilmember Abbott. Councilmember Clark.
Present.
Councilmember Moore.
President.
Councilmember O'Quinn. Good morning. Councilmember Tate. Councilmember Williams, Councilmember Woods, Council Pro Tem Smith. Good morning. Council President Alexander.
Good morning. Thank you very much. Councilors, I would like to ask for a motion and a second for approval of the minutes from the previous meetings of May 17th, May 24th, and May 31st, 2022.
Voting should be open about now. Councilors Tate, Abbott, and Clark. Okay. Councilmember Tate, how would you like to vote?
Would you like to
How
vote?
would you like to vote? Thank you. That vote should be up.
All right, thank you, councilors. Those minutes pass. The minutes are not ready for June 7th, 2022 through September 27th, 2022. Good morning, Mr. Mayor.
Good morning, Madam President. Good morning to the council, and good morning to the public. Madam President and Council, as you know, just stated earlier, a few minutes ago, October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. 1 in 8 women will get this terrible disease. Today, I want to personally acknowledge all the brave women who are fighting and have survived and lost the battle to breast cancer. And in their honor, we are declaring Friday, October 21st as Pink Out Day. Again, that's Friday, October 21st is Pink Out Day. I hope you'll wear pink in honor of our breast cancer heroes, and that is to Mayor's Office, Council, city employees, etc. Also, in addition to that, we have lit up City Hall this month pink, and so as the sun sets and it gets dark outside every day, the building will be lit pink. In addition to that, the 2121 building, Jefferson County Personnel Board, on their signs, and others across the community are honoring with their buildings and lights as well. Madam President and Council, as you know, this Saturday, October 8th, is the Morehouse Tuskegee Classic. The city of Birmingham is thrilled to welcome the Maroon Tigers in a historic match against the Golden Tigers. The game will be at Legion Field. Gates open at 5 p.m. and kickoff is at 7. For our employees here, this Friday, there will be the classic block party right in front of City Hall. It'll be from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. with food trucks, vendors, Sherry B, Logan, Dave, and the Party Rockers, as well as we're encouraging those to stop by the HR's table for Breast Cancer Month giveaways and tickets to the game. For more information, you can please visit MorehouseTuskegeeClassic.com. In addition to that, Madam President and Council, this week is the Digital Inclusion Week. As you know, COVID-19 public health and economic crisis revealed, and we saw it up close with even our Birmingham City schools, revealed the critical need for home internet service and the large number of households who lack this vital access. So today we want to shine a light on this issue by celebrating Digital Inclusion Week. And at this point, I want to ask Annetta Lee to join me. Ms. Lee is a Fuse Executive Fellow for Digital Equity and Inclusion and has been leaning in on this conversation. She's joined by Amelia Mueller. As I read this proclamation, I want her to come up and share a few words. It states, whereas increasing access to the internet supports educational outcomes and economic mobility in communities in Birmingham and across our nation, and whereas high-speed internet access is a necessary infrastructure, fast, reliable, and affordable internet access is no longer optional. Residents, schools, libraries, and businesses require next-generation connectivity to succeed, and whereas the observation of Digital Inclusion Week, sponsored by the National Digital Inclusion Alliance, seeks to increase public knowledge of the importance of digital equity and prompts digital inclusion efforts across our city to improve broadband access, foster adoption, and promote digital literacy. Now, therefore, I, Randall L. Woodfin, Mayor of the City of Birmingham, along with the Birmingham City Council, do hereby proclaim October 3rd through October 7th, 2022 as Digital Inclusion Week in the City of Birmingham. At this time, Madam President, I want to step aside and let Ms. Annetta share a few words with you.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
It's an honor and a pleasure to be here. As Mayor Woodfin, I'll do a little correction. My name is Anita Lee. I know it's it's spelled a little differently. It's with an E instead of an I, but it is Anita Lee. And I am serving as the Executive Fellow here from Fuse Corps with the City of Birmingham and the Civic Design Team. Amelia Mueller is my fearless leader, and my executive sponsor is Chief Ed Fields. My one-year mission here at the city is to help the city, this great city, conceptualize and strategize its role in trying to close the digital divide. And this proclamation, is my opening volley for my time here. This national awareness is happening all over the country. There are over 100 organizations doing various activities to bring awareness to the digital divide and digital inclusion. We have organizations, including city governments, doing things like sponsoring digital skills classes, having major device distribution campaigns. Others are doing town hall meetings, they're doing webinars, symposiums, and all those sorts of things that are going on. The social media hashtag is DIW2022, and it's on all different social platforms. But that's the first thing in my time here. In the next couple of things that I will be working on, I'll be doing we're gonna do a little community survey with the community. We wanna get what the community's experience is with the internet. We're going to use this information to help us strategize the city's role in help closing the digital divide. We're also going to be working on doing a big campaign around the Affordable Connectivity Program. That is a program that Madam President has frequently expressed in her comments, and we want to take that message to the next level. Once again, the ACP program is a $30 federal subsidy that will allow families who are eligible to get $30 off their internet service. And we want to make sure that all eligible households in the city are taking advantage of this benefit. The last couple of things I want to share before I'm done is we are on the cusp of the next great public utility. The COVID-19 pandemic obviously showed how important internet is in order to us to even survive in the 21st century here in the United States. And the last thing I want to share is there is not one initiative, cause, program, project, community revitalization that does not have a digital inclusion component to it. And if you think about it, from neighborhood revitalization to social justice to healthcare to education to workforce development, all of those causes and issues that you are helping to with your citizens have a digital inclusion component to it. So I am here to at least April 2023 as a thought leader and as a subject matter expert on digital equity. And my name is Anita with an E, .lee at birminghamal.gov for any type of want to talk, help conceptualize, and I'm here to help and assist. That's what I'm here for. So thank you so much, Mayor, again for your time, and I appreciate this opportunity. Happy Digital Inclusion Week, because I did broadcast this over several of my advocates, so there may be some folks that are hopping onto the call online. So happy Digital Inclusion Week to you all and to all of my advocates around the country. Thank you.
We want to thank you, and I'd like to thank you and Mayor Woodfin. We're happy that we're celebrating this Digital Inclusion Week. As you stated, we know how important the internet was to us, especially during the pandemic as we go beyond trying to close that gap. Most people feel that the broadband access is only weak in the rural areas, and we know that that is not the case. It also has a weakened state here within the urban areas as well. So we'll look forward to any information we'll be sharing. I would like to invite you to our Utilities Committee meeting, and we'll set that up with you sometime so that you can share more with us during that committee meeting. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Madam President and Council, into the world. That is Anita with an E.
And her last name, Mayor?
I'm choosing peace this morning.
Her last name?
Lee.
Lee, thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Abbott.
Sorry, Mayor. I just jumped in. Lee comes to mind a lot.
Ms. Abbott, this is full team. Thank you for the support. Madam President, I have one last note. At this time, I would like Ms. Sharifa Whip, along with Daniel Elston, Dijon Robertson, and the other B-men to please step forward. So somebody there acting shy this morning. I'll say it again.
They weren't shy earlier. I heard them at that snake.
Gentlemen, I'm talking to you all. You all can come up, please. Pretty please.
Mr. Mayor, you want me to call them for you?
Yes, Ms. Abbott, go ahead. Please assist.
Hey, guys, let's move it here. Yeah. Don't be scared.
Lillian, you can come both ways.
They need more help than I can give.
It's early, Madam President.
I know.
I think next time let's change our meeting time so they'll be awake, Mr. President. That's cool. All right. Thank you, brother. Madam President, being a black male student on campus of a predominantly white university can be overwhelming. Historically, their retention rates have not been high. But thanks to the diligent work of UAB's Blazer Male Excellence Network, or better known as B-Men, more and more black men are reaching the finish line of graduation. At this time, I would like to ask these young men as they stand here and as you take a look at them, that we appreciate them and honor them with a proclamation. I'm not going to read this in its entirety, but I want to read a portion of it before these two young men speak to you. It states, whereas the Black Male Excellence Network, B-Men Peer Mentoring Program, is designed to provide academic and social support to black male students entering the University of Alabama at Birmingham. And whereas B-Men's overall goal is to improve the quality of life for the new students by partnering a returned student with a new student, and by staff providing information on navigating the collegiate experience inside and outside of the classroom. And whereas B-Men has successfully fundraised for a $25,000 scholarship to assist undergraduate members with meeting the financial obligations of higher education. And whereas since 2017, B-Men has serviced more than 600 black men at UAB. And their graduates have achieved incredible success and accomplishments. Now, therefore, I, Randall L. Woodfin, Mayor of the City of Birmingham, along with the Birmingham City Council, hereby declare this proclamation in honor of 15 years of the Blazer Male Excellence Network at UAB. That we encourage and urge all citizens to embrace the students' exemplary achievements. And at this time, I would like Daniel Elston, B-Men mentor, and Dijon Robertson, names I mentioned earlier, trailblazing of cohort 14, to provide a few remarks for you. Thank you.
Good morning.
Good morning.
My name is Daniel Elston, the lead mentor of the Blazer Male Excellence Network. First of all, I would like to thank Mayor Woodfin and the Birmingham City Council for allowing the Blazer Male Excellence Network, or B-Men, to attend this meeting in recognition of our 15-year anniversary. From starting out as a vision for inspiring black excellence to creating a space to facilitate it, to becoming one of the most prominent groups on campus, the Blazer Male Excellence Network has and continues to make amazing strides in supporting black men at UAB and within the city of Birmingham. The success of the organization speaks for itself. Our alumni range from doctors to entrepreneurs to fashion designers. B-Men is and will remain a space for black men to thrive at UAB. The diversity of black experience within the city of Birmingham is vast, despite the unique struggles that come along with being a black man, ranging from societal stereotypes to dealing with implicit biases. Regardless, Birmingham has risen to be a striking example of progress and equality throughout the modern world. And B-Men is proud to be a contemporary part of that legacy. I could not be more proud of the mentors, mentees, alumni, and everyone else in our network. In particular, I would like to commend Ms. Sharifa Whip for the amazing work she does within our organization. Thank you again to the City of Birmingham and Mayor Woodfin for all you've given us here at the Blazer Male Excellence Network. We remain committed to supporting our community and are proud of what we've accomplished so far. Now I'd like to invite Donnie up to talk.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Greetings to Mayor Woodfin, City Councils, and Birmingham citizens. My name is Dijon Robinson, and I serve as president of the Trailblazing Cohort 14, the freshman class of B-Men. Being a part of B-Men has been greater than what I could have ever imagined about being a part of a group of young black men receiving resources, networking, maturing, and achieving together as young black scholars. Within one of our goals of Trailblazing Cohort 14, we want to make sure that we empower the next generation of young black men, and our purpose to do that will be to go into the schools and school systems and let young black boys see who they can become without limits being their barrier. I also want to give acknowledgement to Mayor Woodfin for your great leadership and the image that you have set for younger black men. You have also exemplified the importance of what black male excellence look like, so thank you for that. We also want to invite you guys in the city of Birmingham to come and celebrate B-Man 15th year anniversary dinner on February 18th, 2023. And also, the B-Men want to announce our honorary B-Man member, Mr. Mayor Randall Woodfin. So we also have a lapel pin that we will want to give you.
They didn't tell me. Thank you.
Swag bag.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for allowing me to be an honorary member. You didn't give me a heads up on that. We'll talk about that later. But I just want to say on behalf of a grateful city, we're proud of you. I'm proud of you all for being an example. Let me tell you what I'm really proud of, that you are leaders. You make your family proud, you make your community proud, you make the city of Birmingham proud. Remain strong, keep working with each other, and keep leading. Thank you.
Thank you. At this time, Councilor Moore would like to offer some words. Thank you.
Yeah, just wanted to, my bad. Don't leave out just yet. I just wanted to tell you all how proud of you we are. Correct me if I'm wrong, everybody's freshmen, right? No?
Mixed.
What?
Mentee class of freshmen.
Got you.
Mentors are everybody.
Awesome. It's a beautiful thing because I remember when I was a freshman in college, what I did not have was accountability, right? And I think that B-Men has definitely created a space where you all are wrapping your arms around young men to ensure that they are successful. That is powerful. That is powerful. The fact that you are a part of a group of individuals that, number one, exemplify excellence, but then will ensure that you will live up to the same creed is something that, can't be, you can't put a price on that. And so I just commend each and every one of you and celebrate each of you for the great things that you're going to do. I know we have us an alumni in the back who's an author, brother David Dada. Yeah, you tall, brother. I couldn't help but see you. So just want to celebrate you all and just tell you that we are extremely proud of you.
Thank you very much. Council Pro Tem.
All I can really think is wow. So I haven't seen this many nice, well-dressed black men since I was on the campus of Hampton University. And I think, it really makes me proud because a lot of times with black people, especially black men, we hear the worst. So we hear about, school to prison pipeline or this, that, and the third. But to see you all and see so many of you all, that's what I'm so amazed by. I want to tell you, keep up the good work. It gives me hope. I have a little 12-year-old nephew, So hopefully you guys will come to his school and let him be able to see. Hopefully I can get a picture of y'all that, this is something you can be in 5, 6, 7, 8 years from now. And Dada, wow, I went to high school with Dada. I think Dada was a senior when I was a freshman. He doesn't know this, but I always looked up to Dada because Dada, had such leadership about him, and he was always so positive, and he wanted to make you be better and do better. So Dada is just really the grown-up version of what I think you guys will be. And Mayor Woodfin, he, a lot of people don't talk about his youth, and he really does give a great example of what a young black man can do, especially coming from North Birmingham, then working his way through the grocery store, going to Morehouse, and then just having all the success and just having him as an honorary member. That's great. So anything I can do personally, even though I'm not a male, that you guys need, just know I'm here for you. So thank you for everything that you do.
Thank you. Councilor Tate.
I just want to echo like what my colleagues have stated. I am super, super proud of you young people, and to see that you inducted our mayor into your B-men. But it warms my heart, to see this, especially what Councilor Smitherman said, seeing the prison to school pipeline interrupted, and knowing that you guys are going to go back and wrap your arms around so many who have lost hope and think that is no way out. So be looking for me to lean in on you guys as well, to come out to District 9 and, continue to do your community service. But I am super, super proud to see, as Councilor Smitherman said, so many black males standing tall. So go out and change the world, be great, and make sure you remain in Birmingham also. So thank you all.
Thank you, and I'll round this out. As a UAB grad and alum, I know that when I started at UAB, a lot of my fellow students, black males, did not finish. So I want to thank UAB for creating this mentoring program so that we can ensure that students like these do make it through the process of graduating. And as Councilor Tate said, we want to keep you here in Birmingham. So I hope that once you matriculate and you complete your degree, that you'll consider to stay in the city of Birmingham. I applaud you all. This is not the image we often see of our black men when it comes to the media, social media, and what we see in the news. So I hope that you will outreach to others to show them what they can do and how they can excel. So again, it's just a beautiful picture to see you all here today. Thank you, Mayor Woodfin. Thank you to all of the sponsors at UAB. And I really want to thank UAB for wanting to make our community as diverse as possible. And I know they have a lot of first-generation programs that they're trying to get students to be involved in to obtain their degrees. So thank you all, young men, and let's just say thank you. And before you leave, thank you. Before you leave, we'll round it out with Councilor Woods. Sorry about that, Councilor.
Polly, I thought you was looking at me. You was looking at Councilor Tate. But no, I think it's just an incredible visual to see all of you young men standing together. You kind of took me back to when I got dropped off on a college campus, and just knowing that there's some support there, support system there. I think when we're locally in a world like representation matters, being able to see folks in positions that you want to be in, and so you guys are in position to do that for others. And so look at it like right now, you're getting support. You're being kind of showed a pathway in your journey, but there's people looking up to you. And so go back and fill those voids in your community and your neighborhoods, and carry other people and other young men and show them what you're learning, what you're accomplishing, and just know that the sky's the limit. Like this 4-year period that you're in, there's a lot of pathways to success, but college is one of those multipliers. And so if you go in and doesn't matter what it was before you got there, if you go in and handle your business, you can set yourself on a whole different trajectory. So take advantage of that, and make sure you handle what you need to handle, enjoy yourselves, but make sure you set yourself up for the future. So thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Thank you very much. I think you're being called out to take a couple of pictures. Thank you all. We appreciate you. At this time, Mr. Clerk, are there any announcements of board and agencies expirations for November?
Yes, ma'am. We have a vacancy with the Zoning Board of Adjustment, Philip T. Foster. The term expires November the 11th, 2022, November the 25th, 2022, and it is a 7-year term under the Planning and Zoning Committee.
All right, thank you very much.
Qualification is resident of the city of Birmingham.
All right, thank you very much. And we did get a notification of a reappointment to the Firemen and Police Pension Board as well. And I believe that's Robert Webb was reappointed by that appointment is by the Personnel Board. Thank you very much. All right, at this time, councilors will consider the consent agenda. Mr. Clerk, if you'll read us through that agenda, please.
Consent agenda starts on page 2 with items 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Page 3, we have items 6, 8, 9, and 10 on consent. To my understanding, item 7 is withdrawn.
Yes.
Page 4, we have items 11 and 12 on consent. Page 5, we have items 15, 16, and 17 on consent. Page 6, we have items 18, 19, and 20 on consent. Page 7, we have items 21, 22, and 23 on consent. Page 8, items 24, 25, and 26 are on consent. Page 9, we have items 27, 28, 29, and 30 on consent. Page 10, we have items 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, and 36 on consent. On page 11, we have items 37, 38, 39 on consent, and we have one addendum item, which is item number 40.
All right, thank you, councilors. At this time, are there any items you'd like to add or remove from consent? Councilor Clark.
Yes, Madam President, on behalf of my colleague who is out in the hallway being photographed, I'd like to remove items 15 and 18 from consent.
Okay, that's item 15 on page 5 and item 18 on page 6. Request to remove from consent. Any other items, councilors? Councilor Abbott?
Yes, Madam President, I really don't want to remove item 30 on page 9 from consent. I just want to know if the city is planning on buying hybrid and electric vehicles. You know, I would like to assume that that's the reason we're having the training, but I think we've only had one, and it was run by gas. Like
Mitchell?
Yeah, to answer the question, yes, we currently have a few, I would probably say 6 current electric vehicles that parking enforcement uses, and we do have a couple of hybrid that are in our inventory. So yes, we are planning on having more training and purchasing.
I'm happy to hear that. We're slow to the party, but we're here. Okay, well, I don't want to take it off consent. I just wanted to ask that. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other councilors? Councilor Pro Tem?
Yes, I would like to take off items 16 and 19 and then place item 40 on consent.
Okay, item 16 on page 5 has been requested removed from consent, and that was item number 19?
Yes, ma'am.
Item 19 on page 6 has been requested to remove from consent, and the request is to add item 40 to consent. 16, 19, I'm sorry. Any other requests? All right. All items designated as consent are routine and non-controversial and will be approved by one motion. No separate discussion of these items will be permitted unless a council member, the mayor, or citizen interested in a public hearing so requests. If so, such items will revert to its normal place on the agenda order of business. All matters of permanent operation indicated with a P will be read. All other matters will be announced by reading the item number only. All public hearings will be announced. Councilors, if I could entertain a motion and a second for the consent agenda.
Motion. Second.
Okay, was that Council Pro Tem Smitherman?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And the second was?
More.
Thank you. Okay, voting should be open. All right, councilors, just refresh on the circle. Councilor Abbott, Clark, and Tate. They should do something in a minute.
Or Abbott stepped out.
Okay,
She's gone, yes.
What about Councilor Clark? How would you like? You good? All right, Councilor Tate. All right.
Did I hit yes?
That vote should be up.
All right. Thank you very much. All the items that were listed as consent have been approved. If either of your items, you were representing that item today, they have been approved. We wish you a great day, and we'll continue with the rest of our agenda. Mr. Clerk, first item.
All right, should be item 7. A resolution to the application, I'm sorry, I still need to read it, but
All right.
we'll withdraw it. Application of Slice LLC for a special events retail license 140 to be used at Breaking Bread 2022 on October 16, 2022 in Ferguson parking lot located at 29th Street and 2nd Avenue South, Birmingham. And here are all interested parties, and again, that was withdrawn. So next item should be 13, which is on page 4. Item 13, an ordinance authorizing the operation of medical cannabis dispensaries within the corporate limits of the city of Birmingham pursuant to section 20-2A-51C Code of Alabama 1975. And I need UC to entertain this today. Okay, all in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay.
Second.
All right, items before you.
All right, thank you very much. This is an ordinance authorizing the operation of medical cannabis dispensaries within the corporate limits of the city of Birmingham, and this is recommended by the mayor.
Yes, ma'am. Madam.
I apologize, council.
And it was also recommended by the mayor and public safety for the record. Thank you. Mr. Mayor.
Yes, ma'am. I just wanted to start the conversation off, and earlier did something to your mic. I'm sorry.
Too strong.
Can you hear me?
We hear you now.
Break you by.
State of Alabama is now one of, I believe we're the 40th state. I think prior to us, we at least 39 states have made some form of legalizing medical marijuana. I think we know the state of Alabama, unfortunately, is lacking a lot of things, including health. And all type of diseases exist not only in this state, but particularly in this community and in our city. I think having the opportunity as a state to offer alternative medicine puts us in a position to ease pain and possibly save lives as well. And so before you is just allowing the city permission to actually allow the use and sale of medical marijuana in our city limits. This is a long process. I imagine there may be a lot of questions. We have a process that we need to work out, and it's not even in draft form, Madam President and Council. The state still has a while to go on what it's doing in its process. But what I can tell you, there is high interest in this area, being the most populated county in the entire state, on both sides, the manufacturing and the dispensary side. But those conversations are premature at this point, but we are willing to answer any questions. I wanted to set that frame. Julie Bernard, due to something else, cannot be here, but she's available by phone. I do want the legal department to speak to this council about what's actually before you, before we open it up for any questions you may have. So with that, I'll turn it back to you if you want to address Ms. Bernard.
Thank you. Attorney Bernard, if you're on the phone, can you hear us? You'll speak so we'll be sure we can hear you.
Yes.
Uh-oh, not too good.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, Mayor, and thank you, Madam President. Can y'all hear me adequately?
Yes, we can.
Are you able to hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. I apologize. I'm not able to be there. And the mayor is correct. This is a long process. What is before the council today is just the first step. The state has preempted all regulation of medical cannabis licensing, with the exception of a municipality has to pass an ordinance to allow the dispensing, the retail function within the corporate limits. And that's what's before you today. If the council does not act, the state commission has no authority to issue any dispensing licenses. The other aspects, from cultivation to processing, transportation, all of those pieces of it do not require municipal authorization. So those, the state commission would be authorized to issue licenses for those operations, whether the city accepts them or not. So that in a nutshell is what is before you today. PP has worked on a draft zoning regulation, which we will move forward. If this is done, what made sense to us, the industry is heavily regulated by the state. The dispensaries cannot be located within 1,000 feet of a school, a child care, or daycare facility. And they have strict requirements for security. They are not walk-in facilities. Only people who have cards as authorized patients or caregivers will be allowed to enter these facilities. A number of requirements by the state. So our ordinance will say, what districts they can go in, and, but as a condition, they have to meet all the state regulations. That is the plan at this point.
Thank you, Attorney Bernard. Are there any questions from councilors regarding, I just want to be sure you understand what is before us today, again, is the first step of the municipal authorization for how we would manage and dispense our license and the licensing requirements. So there'll be multiple steps following this one, but this one does start that process. Councilor Clark.
I guess my question was about zoning, and Julie, Attorney Bernard sort of addressed it a little bit, but also business licensing. Do we think that we will have those parts ready, sort of in cadence with when the state is ready to? I mean, I know they're taking applications during a certain period according to what's in our package, and people can't locate facilities in our city unless we pass this ordinance. But I'm wondering, I know sometimes alterations to the zoning code take a long time, and I'm just wondering, are we going to be ready? And then, in addition to our timing, are we going to be ready? It sounds like the zoning, from the zoning sheet, the parts of the zoning code that she explained, it's going to be a lot like a liquor store, locating a liquor store, or prohibitions to proximity to schools and so forth. Are we modeling after what other cities, so many other cities, as you noted, Mayor, have done this? Are we modeling our zoning code after what we do for alcohol, or after what other cities do, or both? I'm just curious.
Mayor Whitman. Yes.
Council, can you hear me? So, while he's responding, fixing this microphone, I want to address the first part of your question. Thank you. Thank you so much. This is a lot of help today.
Yeah.
Madam President, to your colleague's question, the first part is our plan is to be in sync with this council related to the zoning piece. And so if this first step is passed by this council today, I think that draft form, they can go deeper on that and then present that back before the committee, and we can go back and forth so there's alignment between the experts in zoning as well as this body. I think the second part of your question, I know the team, they'll do what they always do. They'll benchmark other cities. In this case, I think Montgomery is the only city in the state of Alabama, but related to kind of what there are 39 other states in our union that are doing this. Then I imagine municipalities in those states have some restrictions, have some safeguards, and have other things within their zoning law and or ordinance that allows them to say what's the best benefit to our city and our population we serve.
And then business licensing,
That's still a process as well. I know Kevin Moore and I talked about that yesterday, and I think he used the word my concern. So I think, again, that is not flushed out. Okay. From a zoning standpoint, we are in the premature phases, and I would say whatever's before premature related to the licensing, this is where we are as well.
But we're committed to keeping pace and being ready,
Absolutely.
Okay.
Economic development is working with legal, finance, as well as zoning. Everybody's cooperating and communicating, and process-wise, coming before this council for everyone.
Okay, and I guess my other question, it just came up when I was reading about it. I guess, Black people have been sort of treating their self-medicating with treating their PTSD or whatever with marijuana, and a lot of our folks have been disproportionately incarcerated and punished around it. And I know there's the potential for decriminalization as these sorts of initiatives move forward. But I was wondering, on the economic opportunity side, is there a way I know we're not regulating this, we're just kind of participating or enabling it within our jurisdiction, but do you think there are ways for us to influence how this industry, as it develops legally, is inclusive of all of our communities? I did try to Google everybody on the commission, and I feel like the governor's appointments were fairly inclusive, but other people appointed, and I'm not sure that, I guess that's done. But in terms of their their code of, can we influence how they, as a city, can we influence how they, go about being inclusive and intentionally inclusive?
So, Madam President, to your colleague, Mrs. Clark's question and statement, I think is very fair. I want to take a slow look at all of you to tell you that I 100% agree with her point. I've made public statements before. I imagine the public and those who have any interest in this industry is listening, so I want to make myself very clear and state publicly or repeat what I've shared, which is related to this topic, marijuana. Those in certain communities, particularly the black community, have been impacted very negatively from unjust laws related to this, or ensnarling things that have not been beneficial or helpful. And so as the conversations around economic development, conversations with our legal department, what I want the city of Birmingham to do is be very intentional and creative about making sure those who have been affected in a negative way can participate and be at the front of the line as it relates to those who are profiting off this as well. I hope that's clear. Now, whatever the confines of the law are or is, we will have to abide by that. But as the city of Birmingham always does, I want us to do two things are important: intentionality and be creative. And those who are listening, while they're bringing everybody else to the table and want to get at the front of the line, they should bring some folk with them who have been affected by this, that has some form of a stake in their business. I hope I'm clear. Crystal.
Thank you, Mayor. Councilor Williams.
Thank you, Madam President. I think mine is probably more going to be legal questions, and I have a lot of reservations and concerns about this, but are we able to legally have our own zoning specifically for medical marijuana dispensaries?
Attorney King.
So Attorney Bernard can answer this.
Ms. Bernard.
Yes, Councilor Williams, the Act specifically allows municipalities to regulate the dispensaries by zoning. That is the only regulatory power that is reserved for a municipality. The other aspects of the business, I think, would have to comply with what is already in place for similarly situated operations. They would still be subject to zoning as a business in the city. But yes, we can regulate dispensaries by zoning. Remember, these are considered, legal medical treatments, so we do have to be careful about how we go about it with respect to, some regulations of people with certain medical conditions and things like that. So the state regulations are pretty extensive as far as security requirements and other things that I've already mentioned. And those will probably be the conditions that we will look to in our zoning.
So I guess I know that the state requires the 1,000-foot rule with daycares, schools, and I can't remember if churches is part of that or not.
It's not.
But, okay, so just daycares and schools. Would we have a legal ability to increase that through zoning, increase that distance from schools?
Yes, potentially. We need to look at that. There are, as I mentioned, some legal ramifications to what we do in regulating things that treat people with certain medical conditions and treating them differently. So we will have to look at that.
Madam President, just
Yes.
to add to Attorney Bernard's point, I would hope this body put their healthcare hat on and how they go about viewing this topic.
Thank you. Councilor Williams, did you have any other questions, comments?
So when we say we're going to enforce it the same as liquor stores, that means that we will not be able to have an increased burden for them to, a cannabis store, pharmacy, dispensary, whatever we're calling it, to open up. We would use the same litmus test as through zoning as a liquor store. Is that correct?
That is not exactly correct. It is in a way, because the only thing that we have in zoning is really where they can be located. There are no distance restrictions for alcohol licenses that are put into the zoning ordinance at this time. That is only the state law allows the council to consider the proximity and the hours of operation to certain types of things like schools and churches as to whether it, and I think it may not be churches, but that it has a negative impact. But there is no distance that is set. The state law specifically sets the 1,000 feet from schools, daycares, and child care facilities. And this is different than alcohol licensing. The state is entirely in control of the licensing. This will not come to the council for each applicant to consider as you do with an alcohol license. That is not allowed by the state law. Their process, they will begin distributing applications on October 17th. They will begin distributing them on October 24th. They will begin accepting applications on October 31st, and the deadline to have the application submitted is December 30th. They're not accepting additional applications after that. They will allow, I think it's up through March, they will allow adjustments, corrections, amendments, whatever, to the applications that have been submitted. The commission will review all the applications in April. I believe their date for their meeting is set as April 13th, I think. And the day after, a public comment period for 30 days will open for anybody in the state to comment on the applications that have been received. That is the opportunity that the city has to make any comment on any specific applicant that may go before the commission. That is the window of opportunity, and they have discretion to set public hearings on the application. The licenses will begin or will be issued in July of 2023. So it's a lengthy process.
So does that conversation include location?
They have to have already, acquired, before they complete their application, they have to have acquired a suitable site within the municipality. So they would have to have met the zoning. They would have to have the ordinance that's before you today and then meet whatever requirements we have and have secured either a purchase or a lease of property with the approval of the owner to operate a medical cannabis dispensary on the property.
Okay. I guess my concern with this is this. I recently had this past year a neighborhood that did not want a CBD store to open up in its neighborhood. There was already a liquor store, and it is on the route. I think it's beyond 1,000 feet, but maybe it's within, I'm not really sure. That a route to both a high school and a middle school, actually. And so the neighborhood fought very hard to make sure a CBD store did not open.
What neighborhood is that?
Huffman.
We'll make sure it's not in Huffman.
I want to make sure, well, that's my concern.
We'll make sure it's not in Huffman.
The state decides. And so my concern is I want to make sure that we respect the neighborhoods that might not want this in their neighborhood. And so that is my concern. Well, I guess my question is, do we have a way through, if we don't get a say and the state gets the say, do we have a way through zoning to do that, is my question.
Ms. Bernard, before you respond, let me respond to Councilor Williams' point. Through zoning, I think there are a lot of things we can and cannot do, and I think that the draft has to continue to be worked out before it goes before the zoning committee. If Huffman doesn't want it there, I think there are a minimum of 98 other neighborhoods that may be open to this. But stigma and perception and our ability to be responsible leaders are important too, of what this is. This is not a CBC store. If you don't have an actual prescription or medical card, you can't purchase anything out of this. This is not the same. It's not even analogous. It's not even in the same ballpark. So I think it's important that the 10 of us, how we communicate this, of what this actually is, centered around healthcare. This will be extremely important on our end for our residents to be armed with factual information, not hearsay or perception of what they think this is, but what it actually is and what it provides for those who are in need of alternative medicine and medical treatment. Madam President.
Thank you. Thank you, Councilor Williams. Councilor Quinn.
Yes, I think Mayor Woodfin, you just kind of summarized my thoughts that, you know, we need to be approaching this from a healthcare standpoint, and you know, this is really, actually, I don't know why, you know, all of our current pharmacies wouldn't be applying to also be dispensaries. So, you know, I think the appropriate context for this might be summed up in the phrase "bottle, not baggy." You know, this is about healthcare and access to medicine. Our pharmacies, you know, provide dozens and dozens of regulated pharmaceuticals, and you know, this is really about the more appropriate context is to think about it in the context of, you know, pharmaceuticals and big pharma and distribution of medications, and not the other, you know, less savory, you know, aspects of marijuana. So just wanted to make that comment.
Thank you, Councilor Quinn. Before I recognize you, Ms. Clark, is there anyone else that has not had an opportunity to ask anything? Go ahead, Ms. Clark.
I was just going to say, I think to the mayor and Dr. Quinn's point, the forms of the substance are very limited in terms of what the state passed. There are no smokable forms or even edible forms that are associated with more recreational use. They are just not allowed in the state by this law. So I do think we got to get our messaging together that, you know, the forms are very limited and really because so many cities did approve it beyond what Alabama approved. So
thank you, Councilor Clark. I just had one question that I wanted to get clarification on. This will be more of a zoning process for us as part of the municipality when it comes to allowing these agencies, or will it be coming through public safety, or would they address us through a zoning issue and then the commission would finally give the certificate?
I think in this situation, since we're all moving, this is new. I'll allow Ms. Bernard to respond, but I want to share this before she provides more context. I think it should become before multiple committees, right? I think there is of course, the overall frame of this, if there's a foundation, that this is through a healthcare lens. However, there are minimum two different things that can happen here. Organization can choose to be a dispensary in our city limits, which has a business license component, zoning component, right? So that could possibly come before whatever committees that's processed in, which could be multiple, right? Separate and apart from that, you could have somebody that may want to do manufacturing here. That may require a form of a committee. And that would probably be economic development, right? And so there are multiple committees I see this going before, possibly economic development. I don't think it has a public safety slant at all, actually. But I think zoning was the next step overall, and that's the last step of that. Anything else would probably be through committee of the whole and/or economic development before we presented it to the entire council. Ms. Bernard can tell me if I'm off the mark on that.
Attorney Bernard, did you have any follow-up for that?
Yes. As I see it, if the property requires rezoning, that is when it would come through council, after we adopt our zoning regulation. As long as they comply with the zoning regulation, I don't see that that they're each going to come through. Again, as the mayor has spoken, yes, this is about health care. The state is very clear in the statute that it is not intended to lead to recreational use authorization. It is being regulated entirely intrastate, which I think the state can do because the federal government does not legalize marijuana products at this time. They are requiring the applicants to be citizens of the state, have had a presence in the state. And again, they require video surveillance on all the facilities, particularly the dispensaries. They cannot allow just, public walk-in trade into the dispensaries. They are only for people who have the ability to access them. A question that has not been asked but may be important to be understood is these licenses, as I mentioned, they have a limited window for application, and there is a limited number of licenses. There are 5 what are called integrated facility licenses, which allows growth to retail dispensing. So they're allowed to have dispensaries, and there are 4 dispensary licenses that's available for the entire state. Each of the integrated facilities can have 5 dispensaries, and each of the dispensary licensees can have 3. But they cannot have more than one licensee can't have more than 1 facility in the same county. So as I see that, the maximum at this time that are allowed for Jefferson County for dispensing would be 9 licenses total in all of Jefferson County. So this is not something that you're going to see coming around every week like an alcohol license does. This is, at this time, it's a one-shot, closed window to apply, limited number of licenses that the state will issue next year.
Thank you, Attorney Bernard. Councilor Clark, did we answer everything? You're still up on you don't need to speak again, or do you? Okay, thank you. All right, thank you, Mayor Whitman. We don't have any other questions, so we're ready for the vote.
Councilmember Abbott and Tate. Abbott is out.
Abbott's out, yes. Councilor Tate. You say yes?
Are you down?
Is your pad?
Okay. Jeff got you.
All right, thank you, councilors. That item passes with 1 abstention. Next item.
All right, next should be 14. Item 14, and ordinance authorizing the mayor to execute an interlocal agreement between the city of Birmingham and Jefferson County Emergency Management Agency for JCEMA to provide personnel support to the city during city events conducted in the city of Birmingham on an as-needed basis. JCEMA will bill the city for the actual hourly compensation of JCEMA personnel who provide services pursuant to the agreement, and the city will reimburse JCEMA for those costs for a period of up to 3 years. The total compensation paid to JCEMA by the city under the agreement shall not exceed the sum of $150,000. This is an item of permanent operation as well. Need UC first.
I move for UC.
Second.
Okay, all in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed.
Move the item.
Second.
Item is before you.
All right, this is an ordinance that will authorize the mayor to execute an interlocal agreement between the city of Birmingham and the JCEMA. This was recommended by the mayor and the Budget and Finance Committee. Are there any questions regarding this item? All right, thank you. We're ready for the vote. All right, thank you, councilors. That item passes. Next item.
Should be item number 15, a resolution pursuant to section number 11-40-1 and 11-47-16 Code of Alabama 1975, authorizing the mayor to execute an agreement with the Birmingham Public Library, under which the Birmingham Public Library will provide assistance with supplies, projects, and software for the Powderly Library for an amount not to exceed $950 for a term of 1 year. These funds will be used exclusively for the purposes stated and funded by the Gordon Highlands Neighborhood Association funds. Motion, please.
Move the item.
Second.
Item before you.
All right, councilors, this item was pulled from consent. Was this your request?
Yes.
Mr. Moore?
Is it on? Yeah. Yes, this was one that I wanted to pull. Didn't want to, ask any questions or anything like that. Just wanted to highlight Garden Highlands for using their neighborhood association funds to assist and support their local library. I know that there are several other neighborhoods also, I want to say Raleigh, Trevelick, as well as Wahoma, that were using their neighborhood funds in such a way that would improve not only the services offered there, but just the public safety and quality of life. And so just want to encourage each and every neighborhood association to find ways to utilize your funds to support public assets in your community, which are, libraries, police stations, firefighters, just finding those key areas to put those funds. So just wanted to highlight them and say thank you.
Thank you very much. I appreciate you for pulling that and highlighting that. I want to thank Mrs. Harriet Littleton, who is the president of the Garden Highlands neighborhood. They're always very supportive of the Powderly Library, which is located in District 7, and also thankful to the Raleigh Trevelick, who previously provided funds. Any questions regarding this item? We're ready for the vote. Thank you for the acknowledgement, Councilor. Is that all 7? We've got one out. All right, thank you. That item passes. Thank you. Next item.
Should be item 16, a resolution authorizing the mayor to execute and deliver an agreement for consulting services with Create Birmingham Incorporated, under which Create Birmingham will provide professional services in attracting and developing film, television, commercial, music, video, and other media productions that will have a significant impact on the city's local creative economy, while raising Birmingham's national profile as a dynamic and hospitable place to do business for a term of 1 year and for an amount not to exceed $150,000.
Second.
All right, thank you. This item was pulled from consent by Councilor Pro Tem. Councilor Pro Tem.
Yes, I see Megan in the audience. I just kind of wanted her to talk about really the scope of services that Create Birmingham has been doing and will be doing.
Thank you. And councilors, there was a fact sheet that's been passed out to you as well. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you all?
Good
morning. Nice to see everyone. This, I think I saw this being passed out.
Yes.
Thank you, Chaz.
Yes.
This is the revised scope of work. So this This budget increase is in response to the mayor's 100 days feedback about arts and cultural services.
Sorry, making this. If you're talking to the mic, just pull it a little closer.
There we go. This revised scope of work and budget allocation is in response to the mayor's first 100 days feedback from a public forum. And historically, we've been very grateful for our partnership and funding for Film Birmingham work. And this funding allows us to expand that in response to what the community wanted, which is more emphasis on a free arts and cultural calendar, which is Birmingham 365. More community arts funding, which we will do through a sub-granting program for $10,000, for $10,000 grants. I'll be reaching out to you all soon for representatives to serve on that panel. And then some additional, a little bit of funding for creative entrepreneurship to help folks monetize their creative talents in our city. So this is the breakdown. If you have any questions, I'm happy to answer.
Thank you. Any other questions or comments? All right, thank you so much. Oh, sorry, Dr.
Yes.
Quinn.
So I know that Birmingham has been able to be the filming location for a number of big budget films in the recent past. Do we have anything on the schedule upcoming?
We do. We have 2 mid-tier films that are going to be here this fall, and then we are actively trying to recruit a very big budget film for January. I can't talk about it yet, but yeah, film has really picked up. We peaked in 2018, and then of course there was a pretty big dip during the pandemic, but we're getting 4 to 5 inquiries a week, I would say, at the film office, so people are interested and excited and coming back.
Cool. I happen to have the pleasure of visiting the Lovelady Center in Eastlake yesterday, and I heard that, I was told that they're in negotiations to produce a film from a very popular book that was written about their journey. So, since that's a Birmingham-based thing, hopefully that can be on our radar in the future. But I just want to make you aware that you might want to reach out to Lovelady and let them know that you guys are available to assist in that regard.
Certainly, thank you. And for all of you, we have a production registration now. It's free across all of Jefferson County. So if you meet filmmakers or they're coming in, it's best if they register so we can track that economic data and give it back to the state film office in Montgomery so that eventually we can raise our incentives across the state. So it is a free registration process. It takes 10 minutes. So any filmmakers you're running into who haven't registered or don't know about it, it's filmbirmingham.org. And we're tracking all of that data so we can do really comprehensive annual reports.
Thank you. Councilor Clark.
I just want to give a shout out to Create Birmingham for being a lean and mean economic development engine for our city. And I know that, this organization turned the corner from being the Cultural Alliance, which came out of the Region 2020 plan back 30 years ago. I don't know when it was, but it was originally created to re-grant public funding for the arts. But then when that recession of 2008 happened, there was no public funding for the arts. The city's art funding dried up, the county's art funding dried up, and it has never come back, really. I mean, it just never came back. So they were they were suddenly thrust into having to compete with the very organizations that they used to grant funds to try to get corporate funding from the same, pool of funds. So having reinvented themselves into an economic development organization that supports creative industry development, I think they are a hidden gem in our city and really fueling our economy in a different way with really hip and new enterprises that they help launch through the Co-Starters curriculum and also through different grants for pop-ups. And anyway, I just wanted to kind of give a shout out because it's near and dear to me. I've helped this organization as a volunteer for many years, and to see them sort of come out of their shell a little bit and get, mainly through film, that's sexier, has a lot more, generates a lot more interest from funders it's another kind of economic development that we haven't really seized in a big way. I just wanted to give a commercial and just offer my support.
Well, thank you. We don't have a marketing budget, so thanks. That's great. And just so you all are aware, I think it's gone out in city communications, but we are the city's art partner for the Smithfield Asphalt Art Project through Bloomberg Philanthropies, and that is, I can't believe it, it's next Saturday, October 15th. If you want to come out and paint, we made the volunteer slots only 2 hours at a time. It's very doable, and artist Lydia Walker has just done a beautiful job. So that's one example of really fun community arts that we're able to do in addition to creative entrepreneurship, because we think people should be able to monetize their creative talents and make this a place that we all want to be and shop and live and play and work. So.
Hey, I forgot to ask my for real question because I was too busy giving a commercial. So you mentioned kind of if we know filmmakers, we need to get them to register with the film office. Are there ways, I know a lot of times the work to support film is people coming out of town and showing them locations to consider, shooting the film in Birmingham. But what about our local filmmakers? How can the film office support them is one question. The other is it premature to talk about ways that you're looking to develop the film infrastructure by trying to create a soundstage here? Is that too premature to talk about, or?
Well, no, I'm happy to talk about it. We are thinking of creative ways to help the infrastructure. So Birmingham doesn't have a soundstage, and a lot of filmmakers with bigger budget films especially need that infrastructure to really able to succeed. And the best way, I think, to help local filmmakers is through funding. So you have to create a revenue stream that can then be shared with Alabama filmmakers, or even more specifically, Birmingham filmmakers. In addition to that, we can offer a lot of liaison services. We help, we're helping a filming group today at one of the parks. So we made all the calls on behalf to make sure that they were set to go. We help with parking meter reservations. And we do hire location scouts for films who are looking at Birmingham and are interested in the area. We also host a database. It's called the Real Scout Database, where local filmmakers, crew people, and any locations can be put onto this database for free. So whenever producers call us on Zoom or on the phone, we say, hey, let's go look through Real Scout together and see if you're seeing your locations, or here's some great local talent that you can hire. So that's a way for people to really get their names out there and get involved. And then lastly, we've just started launching a little workshop series where we're teaching people how to do location scouting, or just kind of gig economy work where folks can get involved. It's pretty low-hanging fruit. It's very accessible. So those are some different things we're doing.
Thank you. Councilor Tate?
I just got one quick question. I'm looking at Block 2. Can you speak to me a little bit about the second block, the community arts?
Yes, so we heard on the call that everyone misses funding, of course, so we thought it would be really fun to take $40,000 of this and earmark it for subgranting back into the community for some community collaborative arts programming. So we would like to give 4 $10,000 community arts grants, and we would like the panelists to be one of your selected volunteers to join us in analyzing the proposals and then selecting those. So you all will be represented in that decision. And these will all take place in fiscal year 2023. So we're hoping to open up preliminary applications late this month. That will go through January, and then we're hoping to fund this in Q1 of 2023 with projects ending by end of year 2023.
Okay, so it's organizations that focus on these different initiatives of civic advocacy, racial justice, restorative justice, so nonprofit organizations that we may know of that may need this boost up.
Yes, the idea is that it will be a partnership. So one of the partners has to be a nonprofit, the other could be an artist, any way that and we want it to be neighborhood focused, community focused.
Thank you.
Thank you. Councilor Moore?
Yeah. So Councilor Clark pretty much, asked the questions that I was going to ask as far as, how do we support local filmmakers, but then also, I was just curious about what makes a city more attractive for shooting different films. And I think you kind of talked about, you know, the scouting process of being able to just kind of showcase different spaces within our city to see if that's something that, you know, people would be interested in. So yeah, she pretty much.
Well, I can add to it.
Yeah,
things that make filming very attractive in Birmingham are the ease of travel. It's so expensive in a city like LA to get your crew from one spot to the other. It takes like 2 hours. It takes 15 minutes here. Our topography and biodiversity is a huge asset. You can have a lot of different looks. Mountains, fields, agriculture, rivers. And then our historical architecture is a real asset too. So much of downtown is preserved that you can do a lot of period pieces, and you can find looks really from the turn of the last century to modern looks, which is really appealing to filmmakers. And great interstate access and really proximity to some of the talent in Atlanta means that we have access to talent that doesn't necessarily live here. I will say our hope is that we have a cluster of our own talent growing here the more we invest in our film work.
Gotcha. And how do we, I guess, one of the things that I'm always interested in is how do we link more young people into these different opportunities as well. And so I saw the comic strip piece in the community arts, and I think that was something that, you know, Christina Hatcher was a part of.
We're partnering with her in Create Hubs.
And so just how do we get more young people involved in those opportunities?
So that certainly is workforce development and creative industries. And honestly, I think that that's going to come with more infrastructure. You really have to build the industry back up here. So infrastructure, steady opportunity, and then programming, which is going to take a little bit of time and funding. But there is a vision for that, and there are discussions around that. And this comic strip competition is like a baby step in the right direction to incentivize young creatives with money. Here's a check. You did a great job. Submit it again next month. So from that small, I think we can start orienting ourselves to workforce development and creative industries, which is a little unusual. I was in workforce development prior to this job in the tech industry, and the measurable outcomes might look a little bit different, but they're definitely worthy, and I think Birmingham has a huge amount of creative talent that we should cherish and celebrate and monetize.
Gotcha. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Council Pro Tem, did you have any other?
No, I'm just happy that we are building up the art community. I know there's something in the works for making you guys have a more permanent home, but I definitely want to make sure that I spread the word about the calendar, because I think a lot, and we talked about this, a lot of people don't know about the different art events that are going on in Birmingham. So I'm just really appreciative for all of your leadership and hard work that you are doing. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Councilors, we're ready for the vote.
Okay, thank you.
Feel like we losing council every time we vote.
6.
I feel like we losing council every time.
That's everybody.
Is that everybody? I was waiting on one more vote. All right, thank you, councilors. That item passes. Next item.
Should be item 18. The resolution authorizing the mayor to execute and deliver an agreement with MyGoat Incorporated, under which MyGoat will provide professional services related to the configuration, installation, effectuation, and maintenance of 4 goats or robotic mowers, 4 goat pens for use in Lynn, and the city will provide the services of MyGoat in an amount not to exceed $11,720 for a term of 1 year. Motion, please.
Move the item.
Second. All right, councilors, this is a resolution authorizing the mayor to execute and deliver an agreement with MyGoat Incorporated. And we had quite a colorful discussion of this during the Budget and Finance Committee meeting. So, councilors, any questions? I believe, Councilor Moore, you pulled this one, right?
Yeah, so was just really trying to get some clarity around this MyGoat partnership. I definitely see the benefit, but just was concerned because there's some tech, you know, that is just going to kind of be roaming around on its own in vacant lots, or, you know, parks, things of that nature. Trying to figure out exactly how do we keep this technology and equipment safe, so that it could be utilized, again, and it's not in somebody's backyard. Because that's a real thing. And so I definitely see the benefit of being able to have like an iRobot type of application, or like a Rumbus, is that what they call it? Kind of like a vacuum in your home, but this would, be outdoors, roaming around, and just kind of collecting grass clippings and just trying to see exactly how we can, secure our investment.
All right, Chief.
Madam President, Council. So as noted, it's just a pilot program that we're testing out. To your point about security measures, they're all GPS units that will be monitored by an app in the cloud. So prohibited if somebody does try to steal them, we can locate them and find them.
Got you. And then how does it go about dumping?
So it's no dumping, it's just a clean cut. So it recycles the grass.
Got you. So it just cuts it and disperses it as it cuts.
Yes.
Got you. Okay. Cool. That's all I have right now.
All right, Dr. Quinn.
Yeah, I just wanted to thank whoever it was that brought this to y'all's attention.
Josh Yates.
All right, awesome. Go Josh.
Kaz, where did Josh get that?
He want credit so bad.
Did it come from your counselor?
He might have had a hand.
A hand in it. All right.
I just wrap that up and saying, this is exactly the type of innovative thinking that I think we need more of, and trying some out-of-the-box solutions to address problems that citizens certainly care a lot about. I know this is a pilot project and it's only going to be in Lynn Park at the moment, but I'm thinking about all of our city parks, and especially our Little League teams that parents show up for practice or a game, and the field may not be in pristine condition. This would help us to stay on top of those issues and make sure that our facilities are in the type of are near the type of conditions that citizens expect them to be. So kudos. Thanks.
All right, thank you, Councilor Clark.
Thank you. I just wanted to applaud the innovation as well. Really looking forward to what this can do to our ability to provide services at a higher level and increase our efficiency. I was just wondering, how well does this equipment work with, slopes and contours? I would imagine, the products we have in our homes, our floors are flat, but, our parks have a lot of contours and slopes and...
Yeah, Madam President, I was hoping that Josh was outside, but from the demo that I noticed, because it's all electric and it's motorized, I think the topography wouldn't be an issue, but that's the reason why we create the pins for them to move around. So let's say if it's a hill they're approaching, that it cannot go up an incline. Of course, someone from Public Works or Park and Rec will have to, manually do that part of the park. So I think it's more based off a flat level. You're from my goat.
I'm from the City Attorney's Office. I just wanted to say that...
Hi, if you'll just introduce yourself, so for the record.
Beverly Scruggs with the City Attorney's Office. The geo-tracking is built around the topography of the park or the different landscapes. So the pin will be created specifically for the area that the goat is operating in. So it will take into consideration any hills or inclines or whatever the topography includes.
So, also, you want me to add to that? Your question, a lot of golf courses are using it. City of Tuscaloosa is using it. A lot of people that have topography issues similar to us are using it, and they found it to be effective. So I think that.
All right, thank you. Thank you so much. I see that Director Yates is here. I didn't know if you wanted to just add any comment to what's already been said.
Hey, thank you, Council President and council members. Yes, ma'am. I would just say that it is a great idea. It's a great pilot program we have before us. If it works well, we can look at expanding it to future operations. This is something where you had mentioned theft. Theft really isn't much of an issue. It's basically a big paperweight. If it's taken, it can't be used in any other application, and GPS is on them as well. In terms of maintenance and how it operates, we can run them just at night. We can run them throughout the whole day. We can really govern how they run and how they operate. There's a lot of different things that go along with this that hopefully will benefit us positively. In terms of slopes and all, we have them in pins. So everywhere is looked at, manicured, made sure it's ready to go before we set them up. So the program in general is something that if it works well for us, we can look at expanding it in the future. But this will get us a full year of it to really test it and see how it goes.
Thank you, Dr. O'Quinn.
Yeah, I just wanted to mention, that these are all electric, correct?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so they're like super quiet compared to a regular lawnmower. So in terms of, noise pollution and everything, they're a lot better.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Councilor Williams, did you have another
Oh,
comment?
yeah, I just wanted to say thank you to Director Yates, to Mr. Deputy Chief Mitchell, Chief Sparks, and the mayor for trying this out. I think that, as the city has struggled to maintain adequate staffing to do all the different, the immense responsibilities of public works, I think that whenever we can look at best practices of other municipalities, and I guess play catch up even through a pilot program, that it's something that we should absolutely pursue. So job well done. Thank you all very much.
Thank you, Councilor Pro Tem.
I know Madam President asked during Budget and Finance if this is something our neighborhoods could use, right? Because I know that's one of our top complaints, are overgrown lots. So maybe, hopefully one day, Joint Chiefs, we could maybe get with our neighborhoods so they can use some of that neighborhood funding to help us with those overgrown lots. So I'm looking forward to this. And thank you, Councilor Williams, for finding an innovative idea.
Thank you. I want to echo, I believe that's everyone now. I do want to thank each of you that have already been mentioned for bringing this technology and this opportunity to the city. I am really looking forward to, hopefully this will be a pilot that will really work because as Councilor Quinn mentioned, we so often when our Little League teams go out and they want to use the parks, sometimes parents are faced with the overgrowth, and we just like to see that become routine and not that we have to ask for that. So just one final question. The pilot program, and I apologize it was in our packet, how long would the pilot last and when could we expect some type of report?
It'll be for 1 year.
Okay.
And we'll be getting monthly reports and updates, and we'll have all the data we're tracking monthly.
Okay, thank you. Perhaps at least once a quarter, we might ask you to come to Committee of the Whole or just give us a little email or something because there's a lot of interest in wanting to see how this project is going. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, without any other questions, councilors, we'll call for the vote.
Councilmember O'Quinn.
All right, thank you. That item passes. Next item.
Item 19, a resolution authorizing the mayor to execute any and all documents required for the city to apply for a Reconnecting Communities Pilot Program grant from the United States Department of Transportation in the amount of $1 million. This will be a joint application with the Birmingham Jefferson County Transit Authority for the Transportation Capital Investment Plan. This grant requires matching funds in the amount of $100,000 from the city and authorize the mayor to take any and all actions and execute such documents as are appropriate and necessary to accept and spend grant funds on behalf of the city for use by the Department of Transportation in accordance with the grant documents.
To the odd.
Second. All right, thanks, councilors. This is a resolution that we're considering authorizing the mayor to execute any and all documents for us to apply for a RCP grant from the United States Department of Transportation in the amount of $1 million. This has been recommended by the mayor and the Budget and Finance Committee. Any questions regarding this resolution? And I'm not sure who pulled it from consent council.
It was me. I just wanted them really just to talk about just talk about a little bit about the basis of it, that's all.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am, Madam Pro Tem. Ms. Christina Argo should be right outside the door. She's going to come and give an update.
Okay, and as she comes, did you want to speak before Ms. Argo? Councilor
Yeah,
O'Brien.
so the Transportation Committee also heard this and recommended it to the full council for consideration. And basically, you know, this is in response to the discretionary program that Secretary Buttigieg came to Birmingham to announce a couple of months ago. And the idea is to do some planning to help us identify priority projects that would be applicable under the scope of this program. So, you know, that's sort of the gist of it is trying to identify those projects that are going to be sort of best suited for this particular application. And
Thank you, Ms. Argo. How are you today?
Great. Nice to see you guys. Christina Argo with the Department of Transportation. So just to kind of build upon what Councilor O'Quinn said, it is a alignment between the city and the transit authority. So, and the plan will be all encompassing of all modes of transportation. So transit, our street network, bike and ped facilities, trail system, and it gives us, it will come out and give us a strategic list of projects that we can apply for federal funding. So it's really a great first step when we think about all this federal DOT money that is out there now.
Thank you. Any questions for Ms. Argo? Any questions for anyone else? Thank you, Ms. Argo. We're ready for the vote. All right, thank you. That item passes. Do we have anything else left, Mr. Clerk?
No, ma'am.
All right, thank you so much, councilors. We do not have any speakers signed up for the speakers list, so we'll move right into our district comments. I do want to begin before we start and recognize each counselor. I do want to show a video of recent trip that the council members of the mayor's team, we did have an opportunity to attend the Congressional Black Caucus, their annual legislative conference. And so if we'll show that video.
The Birmingham City Council is just back from Washington, D.C. and the nation's leading policy conference. This is the 51st annual legislative conference from the Congressional Black Caucus Foundation.
And they've got rows of vacant lots and houses, so trying to put that money back into where our nation to see what we can do from that standpoint.
From the 14th annual Black Women's Roundtable, where we heard from social justice pioneers and Black female leaders, to meeting with Congresswoman Terry Sewell to discuss the land bank, low-income housing, choice neighborhoods, and the continuation of support for our city, we had a very busy stretch of meetings and workshops, learning about new resources and opportunities that we are bringing back to Birmingham. And for more from the Birmingham City Council, follow along with us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Stay safe, Birmingham.
Thank you very much. I do want to thank the governmental affairs team. I want to thank the mayor's staff. I want to thank our PIO staff, Ms. Alicia Moore, for providing that support for us as we had this opportunity. There's been a lot of interest in what really happens at this type of convention. You can see from some of the transportation grants and a lot of the information that we've been sharing, this gives us an opportunity to network, not only with federal and state officials, but as well as other municipal officials, where we can have an opportunity to find out what are some best practices, what's going on, and it gets us to be up close and personal to see what resources we can bring back to the city of Birmingham. So we thank you all very much. If we could just start with Councilor Tate, if you'd like to start with your comments. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam President. The Wylam neighborhood will meet this evening at 6 p.m. in person at the Wylam Library located at 4300 7th Avenue, Wylam. You can also join the meeting conference call by dialing 720-740-9863. The access code is 6589380. Pacifico Finley neighborhood will meet Wednesday, October the 5th at 5:30 p.m. Conference call, that dial-in number is 952-206-4918. The access code is 223418. North Birmingham neighborhood will be meeting on Monday, October the 10th at 6:30. Conference call, the number is 425-436-6348. The access code is 1023266. The next public safety meeting will be Tuesday, October the 11th. You can submit your agenda items to Brandon McCray no later than October the 6th at 1 p.m. Do not forget about the parts after dark. The next location is North Birmingham on 929, and that's at the North Birmingham Recreation Center in the Fountain Heights Rec Center on 10/6/2022. So the 9/9 has passed. Come out this Sunday to the Safe Summer Series concert. It begins at 5 p.m. at the Legion Field parking lot J, and that's on Greymount Avenue West. You will be entertained by young vocal ALT known as the Lieutenant and Life Jennings, our national recording artist Life Jennings. Antioch Missionary Baptist Church Senior Pastor Dr. Q.E. Hammonds hosts a COVID-19 clinic on October the 15th. From 10 a.m. to 3 p.m., the church is located at 1220 Hattie Street, Birmingham 35214. So they're offering the first, second, pediatric dose and booster shots are available, and it's sponsored by Med Plus Consulting LLC and Connection Health. Join us October the 16th. Come skate with Councilor Tate at the Boutwell Auditorium located at 1930 Reverend Abraham Woods Boulevard, and that event is from 7 p.m. to 12 a.m. So you can also register on Eventbrite, and we will be joined with by DJ Bad Boy Butch, who will be on the 1 and 2. So the next State of the District meeting will be October the 20th at McAlpine Park from 6 p.m. to 7:30, and it's located at 1115 Avenue F, Birmingham 35218. Also, and final, Madam President, we will be talking Let's Talk Peace, Healing, and Public Safety Sneakers Array. It's going to be October the 22nd from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. and that's going to be at the Birmingham Crossplex, 2340 Crossplex Boulevard 35208. So we definitely want adults and organizations and all of our kids to come out so we can talk about peace, healing, and public safety and how we need to start moving the city of Birmingham in a safe manner. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor Tate. Dr. O'Quinn.
Yes, Madam President. Well, if you hadn't noticed, it's festival season in the city of Birmingham. If you're not arriving to your job on Monday morning totally worn out from all the stuff that happened on the weekend, then you're not taking advantage of everything that's available. I mean, all you got to do is just like wander around, just head one direction. You're going to run into something going on, and certainly the case this past weekend, and I'm sure will very much be the case throughout the remainder of this month. So, you know, get out there and enjoy the city. There's plenty of stuff going on for you to take part in. One thing I want to mention probably is on Councilor Clark's
list as well is that there are a couple of meetings today happening regarding seeking input for a re-envisioning of Lynn Park. The first meeting is going to happen here in just a few minutes at noon, and then there will be another one, I believe, at 5. Yes. And those are each kind of followed up with like a walking tour of the park where some of the planners will be available to kind of go around and take a survey of the park and speak about some particular issues. Forest Park South Avondale meets tonight at 6:30 p.m. at Avondale Library. Wahoma Neighborhood Association will meet on Thursday, October 6th at 6 p.m. That is a virtual meeting. Please call my office at 254-2679 for more information. Also on Wednesday, October 5th, there will be a Smithfield community meeting in the lobby of Legion Field for residents to come and learn about another federal grant opportunity that we're seeking, which is the HUD's Choice Neighborhood Program. We're super excited about that opportunity. Birmingham is making sure that we're positioning ourselves to be extremely competitive for that. If we are awarded that opportunity, it will be immensely transformational for the Smithfield community. So please come out and learn about that. Again, that is Wednesday, October 5th, 4:30 p.m. in the lobby of Legion Field. And this is, you can help the city define the goals for the Smithfield community. Transportation Committee will meet on October 10th at 2 p.m. in the council chambers. Please submit any agenda items to Kimberly Phillips at kimberly.phillips@birmingham.gov. And then finally, just want to let you guys know that the District 5 Safe Summer Series concert will take place October 16th at City Walk with a resource fair starting at 4 p.m., Parker High School band performance at 4:30 p.m., and concerts starting at 5 p.m. with local artists Sherry Brown and Element 11, and featuring national recording artist, violinist Dominique Hammonds. That concludes my announcements.
Thank you, Councilor Quinn. Well, we look forward to that Safe Summer concert. So, Councilor Williams, you are next.
Thank you. I'm going to share Councilor Abbott's notes in her absence. The next Planning and Zoning meeting is scheduled from October 13th at 3:30 at the normal location. Tonight, Crestwood South will have National Night Out at 6 to 8 p.m. at the Claremont Walking Trail in the little seated circle section. Tonight, Forest Park and South Avondale Neighborhood Association will be meeting at Avondale Library, and then of course visit bhamdistrict3.com for updates around District 3. Same announcement on behalf of District 2 is the Crestwood South National Night Out. We're looking forward to that this evening. Every year has had actually pretty good attendance, so looking forward to that. Overton Neighborhood will also be meeting tonight at 6 p.m. at Macedonia Church in the Overton community. And that is all I have.
Thank you, Councilor Williams. I think, Councilor Moore, I think you're next.
Yeah, that's fine. Thank you, Madam Pro Tem. Before I get into my announcements, wanted to, just try to find out about street pavings. I know that was something that, I brought up to Mayor Woodfin before about getting a list of updated street pavings so that we could kind of know what to expect. I've had several folks out of the Zion City area making mention about 95th Street and certain streets being patched and not being actually paved, and then I know that even Lawson Road, that's one that my office gets a lot of calls about because it's in it needs some TLC times 10, and so just trying to find out exactly where we are with that street paving list, and when we can expect to see some action on those items.
Yes, sir, Counselor. So for the specific streets that you've mentioned, we've made a note of those, and we'll have our BDOT team follow up with you on the global list. If individual counselors have questions, we'll make sure that we provide an update from the department, and if there are individual inquiries that you have, we'll give those specifics, but we'll provide a global update, and we'll have James Fowler and his team follow up with you.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so I did want to kind of go back a little bit and talk about, the CBC. Was very grateful to be able to attend, talk to Senator Sewell, Congresswoman Sewell, and others in other cities and municipalities. But one of the things that really stood out to me the most was being able to attend a session that talked about violence against black men and boys. And it was an hour-long session, and so you can imagine how much we were able to talk about during that time, right? Because there are a lot of people who have a lot of opinions and a lot of suggestions as to what direction we should go in to address this major issue. But one of the things I left with is that, obviously everyone knows that there are several things that play a part in this issue that we deal with in our city. And it's not just Birmingham, I should note as well. This is something that, is plaguing a lot of people and on the hearts and mind of people all across the country. But we understand that there are multiple facets that play a part in that. My challenge was, the frustration that people were having with each other in saying like, hey, we should address this first. We should address music first, or we should address legislation, or we should, think about the family structure, where nobody was wrong, right? And I think that I want to just, I bring that up because I want to make mention, because these are some of the same conversations that are happening right now in Birmingham. People feel like, there's this one way that we can go and address, violence in our city, when really there are multiple things that we can do. And everybody, if you feel strongly about it, right? If music is that thing that you feel like you need to address, then put your hands to the work. If, focusing on family structure and, making sure the families are strong and you doing what you can to address that is something that is a passion point for you, do that. And let's find the common thread in how, we all can be on the same page, moving in the same direction, just in different modes, right? And I just wanted to, encourage that because the end result is us being able to have more groups and larger groups like B-Men coming into our council meetings and, being examples in our city as a result of the work that we're doing together. And so just wanted to kind of bring that up. I also wanted to let everyone know that neighborhood association elections will still be taking place on October the 18th. So if you want to run for an officer position in your local neighborhood, please be sure to do that. I want to say thank you to the Joint Chiefs about the street paving information that will be coming forward. The BRT is still free. And so if you have not had an opportunity to take advantage of that, please do so. We have a couple of neighborhood associations taking place on today. Well, one taking place today, Fairmont Neighborhood Association. On Monday, we will have Inglenook, Woodlawn, Airport Highlands, as well as Roebuck. To find out, the specifics around those different meetings, please visit the Birmingham City Council website, find District 4, scroll all the way down to get the addresses and access codes to all the meetings for this month, as well as the names and numbers of your neighborhood officers. I want to say congratulations to sophomore running back / linebacker Mikael Jackson for being selected as our student athlete standout of the week. Mikael has a 3.7 grade point average, and Mikael is a part of the early college program offered at Woodlawn High School. This program will allow Mikael to earn 60 plus hours of college credits that will transfer over to any college he selects. Mikael takes his core classes at Jeff State Community College. So shout out to you and the success that you've had thus far and the continued success that you will have. The 5-2 Woodlawn Colonels fought a good battle against Parker. But we came up short last week. That's all right. This week the Colonels will take on Jackson Nolan. So we will see you all this week on Friday. Let me see, this Wednesday from 10 to 12 p.m., 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. Learn what you'll need to successfully complete the FAFSA application at the Woodlawn Library. Registration is required, so please call 205-595-2001 or go online at Birmingham Public Library to register. Let me see. And then I also just want to continue to encourage and congratulate all the citizens that are participating in the ACE program, as well as the Community Police Academy. Both programs start this week. So if you have not registered, please do so. And if you missed registration, please make sure that you register next time. These will conclude my announcements.
Okay, thank you, Councilor Moore. Councilor Clark, I think you're next.
Thank you, Madam Pro Tem. So, as Councilor Quinn said, there's lots to do in this season, and I had a chance to witness the Friends of the Birmingham Botanical Gardens launch of their 16th annual Antiques at the Garden, which is their primary fundraiser to help the park board deliver programs and services at the gardens. And this is something the Friends Group has done for the city and the park board for at least 60 years. They've been our partner to generate support for all the things we're able to offer at the Birmingham Botanical Gardens. And I just want to note that they are also working on a master plan that could fix a lot of what's broken and breaking and take our gardens to the next level. So the park board is exploring what that arrangement could look like. So just stay tuned for more information on that. As far as neighborhood meetings go, we have 2 tonight. The Fairview neighborhood will meet today at 5:30 via conference call, and you can call my office at 205-254-2304 if you need to get that dial-in information. Also, the Thomas neighborhood meets tonight, and they gather in person at the Mount Hebron Baptist Church Thomas at 6:30. So please remember to wear a mask. Also want to remind folks that there are 2 more Thursdays to catch Parks After Dark. This is a part of our Safe Haven series, and each week until October 13th, Birmingham Parks and Rec host an evening with games, prizes, and a movie. And it starts at 6 p.m. and is free fun for the whole family. This Thursday's Parks After Dark will be at the Fountain Heights Recreation Center. So please come out and support this event with your families. Also, in addition to breast cancer awareness, which has been highlighted, pretty significantly today in this meeting, October is also Domestic Violence Awareness Month. And physical violence is just one of many tactics used to hurt, intimidate, frighten, and ultimately control an intimate partner. Locally, we have the YWCA of Central Alabama as a resource. YWCA Domestic Violence Services takes a holistic approach to empower victims and survivors who use their unique services to navigate their safety and their lives free of violence. In addition to the direct services that the YWCA offers, they also offer domestic violence prevention and outreach to Jefferson, Blount, and St. Clair counties to educate our local communities. So if you or anyone you know you suspect is being abused, you can reach out to the 24-hour crisis line at 205-322-4878. That's 205-322-HURT, H-U-R-T. Be sure to come out to Starbucks at the Crossplex for Coffee with a Cop. That's on Wednesday, October 5th from 3 to 5 in the afternoon. The police department is hosting and all are invited. This is a great opportunity for community members to discuss various public safety topics with our law enforcement officials. On that same day, which is tomorrow, as Darrell O'Quinn mentioned, we'll have the Choice Neighborhood Community Input Meeting, and I think it's really important for people in the Smithfield community and the Smithfield Public Housing community to come together, as he mentioned, to help define the goals of this really important opportunity. It's very competitive, only 7 grants awarded nationally, and it's an opportunity for us to get up to $50 million in federal support that has to leverage another 60 or 70 million in local investment. So, I mean, it's an opportunity to really create a lot of investment, and not just in the Smithfield community, because HUD requires that the replacement housing for Smithfield be in census tracts that are not HUD qualified census tracts. So it's an opportunity to create investment all over the city, but we got to win first in order to get this to happen. So can't say enough about how important that is. Also, as Megan from Create Birmingham mentioned, we need a lot of volunteers to help put some paint where it ain't. That's the Asphalt Art Initiative. This is also taking place in the Smithfield community. It's an asphalt art party on October 15th from 10 to 4. She mentioned the volunteer shifts are 2 hours each, and this will help. This will be the culmination of a community-led process to design and install asphalt art at the intersection of 8th Avenue West and Center Street. You can find out more and sign up to volunteer. Come on, y'all. At www.createbirmingham.org. And reminded by my colleague here, who JT Moore, who wants to make sure we're all engaging in the neighborhood elections and the neighborhood organization process. I know many of us up here really care about strengthening that. I just want to note that the Central Park neighborhood did not have anyone who qualified to run for the offices of president, vice president, or secretary. And right now, that neighborhood is totally unrepresented through the neighborhood organization process. So I encourage residents of Central Park who are interested in leadership to please reach out to the community resources staff in City Hall to learn about absentee voting. I mean, you can run as a write-in candidate. Absentee voting deadline is October 11th at 5 p.m. and in-person voting will take place on October 18th. There are 4 approved voting locations. Legion Field is one that will serve the western side, and really the whole city can vote at Legion Field. But just want to encourage people, even if you miss the deadline for qualifying, you can still run as a write-in candidate, and there's still time to get your neighbors to support you in that effort. That concludes my remarks. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor Clark. Councilor Woods.
Thank you, Madam Pro Tem. A couple quick announcements from District 1. Archwell Health will continue the beginner gardeners classes this Thursday at 11 a.m. And so it's just good opportunity to get some hands-on experience. They have garden beds set out there. They're going to be teaching you how to garden. We've been seeing more and more gardens pop up in backyards and side yards, and so I definitely want to encourage you to continue to get out and develop those skills. And like I said, if you don't have those skills, it's perfect for a beginner. And so jump in this Thursday, 11 a.m. That's at Archwell Health in District 1. Also, Springville Road Library will be hosting an ACT workshop on Saturday. Registration is required. You can call 205-226-4081 for more information. Again, that's 205-226-4081. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Council Woods. As far as my announcements, neighborhood meetings, today, Oakwood Place Neighborhood Association will meet today at 4 p.m. at Harrison Park Recreation Center. Then Mason City will meet this evening as well at 4:30 virtually. The call-in number is 712-770-8017, and the access code is 843426. Then tomorrow evening at 5 p.m. at Memorial Park Recreation Center, North Titusville will be meeting. Also, I am very, very excited for the ribbon cutting for the Titusville Cultural Center. This will be this Monday at 5 p.m. It will be at 222 6th Avenue Southwest. I think it was an old maybe paper mill factory over there, but it's where Build Up is there now, a community school, and they're actually going to have a fitness center, y'all. So like for powerlifting, personal training, they're going to have a basketball court, I think maybe soccer field. So I think it's really good to bring a lot of positivity to the neighborhood and community, because other than Memorial Park, you really don't have anywhere else to play basketball, because they took the Western Wild way, so you have to go downtown. So I'm very excited about that coming to District 6. Get ready, bring your resume. We will have our annual career fair. Will be held Friday, October 14th from 11 to 2:30 p.m. at Memorial Park Recreation Center. Meet representatives from Regions Bank, Alabama Power, and more. Also, we will offer free professional headshots. I know that's kind of hard to come by. And then we will have a coffee shop and food truck there for lunch. Also, we will have second chance job employers there. So if you're a previously convicted felon, we will have employers there that will interview and help you to get a job. For more information, visit www.d6bham.com. Also, October will be busy for District 6. We will have a senior health fair on Saturday, October 22nd from 11 to 3 at the First Baptist Church in Mason City. We are partnering with Jefferson County Department of Health, SWAP Win Birmingham, State Focus Project, and First Baptist Church of Mason City. Also, I am very excited about this, but we will be having a street market the Sunday of Classic along with Innovate Birmingham. This is Sunday, October 23rd from 1 to 4 p.m. at the old Mark Steele building located at 600 6th Avenue South. So it's right across the street from Memorial Park. So come join us and kick off Magic City Week in style. The Titusville Library will be having their monthly Community Resource Day on this Thursday from 10 to 2. They will have their Senior Resource Day tomorrow from 10 to 1. And if you need free diapers, they will have it today. Well, it's going on right now, actually. And then Zion Star Missionary Baptist Church will have their annual health fair next Saturday, October 15th at 10 to 2. Also, the PIC committee meeting will be today. It'll happen right after council meeting once we get done with our announcements. And then the next budget and finance meeting will meet next Monday, October 10th at 3:30 p.m. in the council chambers. Submissions are due tomorrow by noon. Submissions received after noon will be placed on the next budget and finance agenda. Email submissions to laquia.wilson@birminghamal.gov. And Madam President, I think it's your alma mater's homecoming, so happy homecoming to UAB. And also make sure you guys go out to the Morehouse Tuskegee game. Support these two HBCUs. I think Council Moore, that's your alma mater too, Tuskegee. Yeah, and that's my sister's school. So make sure you guys come out and vote.
And for more information on everything that's going on in District 6, visit our website at www.d6bham.com. CBC, I really enjoyed going there. We met not only with our federal representatives, we met with our federal lobbyists, and they told us about grants for our schools, which is really important, especially mental health initiatives, affordable housing, and all these different grants that the city is going after to make sure that we really improve Birmingham. I also met an organization called Clean Slate, Madam President, I did. That was one of the pictures you saw on our slideshow. And it's an organization that helps people who have records be able to wipe it clean. And so she really talked about how really the barriers for reentry start when a person actually gets out of prison. It's not while they're in prison. And we find that usually most people go back to prison because they have such a hard time trying to, reinvent their lives that they feel like, well, I need to go back to what kind of helped me able to get money faster. So we're going to be hopefully working with them to help people out and just really help those in need. So I think it was a good trip, and I had a lot of fun getting to know my colleagues. So thank you, Madam President.
Thank you very much, Madam Pro Tem. These are announcements for District 7. I do want to echo the thanks for the opportunity to have attended the Congressional Black Caucus legislative agenda meeting. What I found unique about it was we also were joined by representatives from the Land Bank as well as community revitalization or community development, where we really want to focus on how to bring these resources back to the city of Birmingham. I also had a unique pleasure of being in attendance of a women's roundtable that was filled with representatives, activists, women who are in the forefront trying to bring changes to their community. So that was also a great opportunity to hear those voices and want to bring those voices back to the city. So thank you again. I do have to ask the Joint Chiefs, similar to Councilor Moore's question, I do need an update on the paving for Jefferson Avenue. I know that had been promised starting in August, September. Now we're in October. I'm concerned about, are we running into the time where the weather will not allow us? So any updates you can give us. Every neighborhood meeting I've been to, they've asked, and yesterday in Priscilla Heights, it was really just a concern.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am, Madam President.
Provide that information to the office. I'd appreciate it. As far as neighborhood meetings left for this week, the Jones Valley Neighborhood Association will meet at the Powerley Library at 4 p.m. Our Winona Dragons will be on the road this Friday. They will be facing the Hayden Wildcats, and that game will be in Hayden, Alabama at 7 p.m. The Oxmoor Valley Neighborhood Association will meet at the Oxmoor Valley Community Center at 6 p.m. on Monday. We do have some brush, trash, and limb pickups scheduled in D7 this week. Today is October 4th, right? Yes. Today we have pickups scheduled for Priscilla Heights and Tarpley City. If you want to report a missed pickup, please call, either dial 311 or dial 205-254-6312, or you can call the 24/7 D7 hotline at 205-304-1797. October 5th, the Roosevelt neighborhood is scheduled for pickup. If you all could look that up, they did pick up bulk trash in front of my home today, so I just want to see if that was today or tomorrow, but it's listed for tomorrow. If they want to come back out tomorrow, we'll be more than happy. And then the October 6th is Germania Park South. Registration does continue for the Youth Build program at the Cornerstone Revitalization Foundation. They are offering pathways to a brighter future. You can see that flyer attached on the D7 website. Following this meeting, and I know everybody's waiting to get out of here, we will have a video again. We are observing awareness for breast cancer month this month, and so we'll have a video following for the Brenda's Brown Bosom Buddies, the event that took place recently at Legion Field. We want to thank our officers on duty today, Cedric Pinkert, Tevin Irby, and Marco Easley. If I could entertain a motion for adjournment, we'll get out of here today.
So moved.
All in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed?
Thank you. Meeting adjourned. Thank you all very much.
sister that, I can't find time to exercise. She just says how to find just simple movements using a chair, dancing. So I think this is so great, just the amount of support that she gives, because a lot of times organizations aren't able to go into the depths of really a lot of communities, and she touches those people that aren't usually given a lot of attention to, encouraged by others.
Well, I lost a cousin, not to breast cancer, but cancer when she was 13 years old. So awareness, I think this is a great event. It is an awareness to raise awareness, especially in the African American community. So make sure you get your monthly checks, get your breast check, and we're here to help Brenda Brown Bosom raise awareness to breast cancer.
We know that over 270,000 women are diagnosed with breast cancer every year in the United States, and unfortunately, African American women have a 40% higher mortality rate than Caucasian women. So this event is very important to bring awareness to the African American community and Latino women to get out there and get their breast cancer screening, as we know that is one of the best ways we can do to prevent and detect breast cancer early. We know that women who get their breast cancer diagnosed earlier have a better chance of survival.
So we're just very excited. I'm here with other fellow counselors, and we're here to support Ms. Hung and her efforts. We know for the past 2 years the pandemic has affected our families. Some women have failed to go and have their preventive medicine, getting mammographies and other treatment, and so we're just here today to support her efforts to help families in need. And so we want to be sure that all of our residents understand what Ms. Hung does for our community and what she does for breast cancer survivors.
And for more from the Birmingham City Council, follow along with us on social media, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Stay safe, Birmingham.
I want to thank all of the D9 constituents for coming to the state, our first State of the District town hall meeting. It was a very, very good meeting. We had very great participation, and we had a lot of resources to tell the community about.
12-hour shifts begin at North Precinct this Saturday. It's a pilot. So that way there's 4 different groups of officers. There's a group that works at night. There's 2 groups that work at night, 2 groups that work at night. They alternate. So this lets, like I said, more coverage for the streets. So you also see more police officers on the street, which should help us decrease crime. It should increase the response times for calls for service.
I am grateful to my staff. They did a wonderful job. I'm grateful for Councilor Clark, who was here.
But today I'm going to give you like an overview of the vision for the site and break it down into some of its component parts and just give you a sense of the timing that we're hoping for.
I saw Councilor Smitherman, Councilor Woods to come in for their support. So this was a very great opportunity for me to bond with the community, and we look forward to doing more.
The Birmingham Land Bank Authority has access to properties that are at least 3 years tax delinquent. We know that when you do not pay your property taxes, by the time that they are due, they will be included in a tax sale, and at that point it becomes tax delinquent.
It was super important for me to have the chief here, the deputy director of public works. We had the land bank, we had community development, we had the United Way, we had the school board. We had an array of individuals that was here to give out great information on how you need to contact them, report issues. So that was super important. My goal when I set out to do this was to make sure that I brought the right agencies in to make sure that we give the people the opportunity to ask questions, the resources that they need. So this was great. I'm super excited about that. We have our next State of the District going on the western quadrant of town, and that's going to be in October. And then I plan to do a quarterly district briefing. So again, I want to thank my staff and thank all of the constituents of District 9 who came out to the State of the District meeting.
And for more from the Birmingham City Council, follow along with us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.